Hey everybody, Tiny Texter from Cheap Tattooing. Um, Today I'm going to be redoing a blacklight tattoo, uh, UV tattoo. Um, I've already done it on me, but it's kind of weak in some areas, and I want to redo that. And um, so I'm going to go over it again. Uh, I'm going to be using some Mom's Millennium uh, Afterglow Yellow, um, some Purple Haze from Mom's Millennium, and then if I have some time, I have a black elephant, outline of a black elephant, and I might do some Atomic Green from Mom's Millennium on the inside of that. And then I'll be lining it with Eternal Ink lining black. And I love Eternal Ink. It comes with a shaker inside. So does the Mom's Millennium ink. It has a shaker on the inside, which is really nice. It lets you know that your stuff's mixed up really good. Um, yeah, you really need that. Uh, okay, I'm going to be using a 7-round liner for the lining. My lines didn't come out very good or very dark because I don't have a very good liner. So that's just how it goes. I think I got a better liner now, so I hope I do. I'm going to be using a 5-round Magnum. I'll show you a little better what the tip looks like on that after I pop them open. And then I've already set up my spare machine, and it's got a round, or it's got a 9 flat in it, and it's already all set up just in case my shader decides to quit on me while I'm doing my color work. I'll be using Vaseline. I don't use anything but the real stuff. Witch hazel, but I'm not going to be using it. Cleanup is antibacterial soap and water. I use tap water. I don't use distilled water or anything like that. I use regular tap water. I don't care what anybody says. Tap water's just as good. You drink it, you bathe with it, you do everything with it. It's just as good. Antibacterial soap is just as good. Tap water's just as good. Alright, well, let's get these needles set up in here. Do the liner first. I don't need to put on the gloves. We're not going to be touching the needle tips at all. So I do have my gloves here, but I'm not going to be touching the needle tips at all. So anybody that says you have to put on gloves to do this part, you don't. You're not touching the needle tips at all. So now I was under the impression that when you do this that you leave that bottom part down and then bend it, but you need to put that needle part up and then give it a slight curve. So give it a slight bend that way, and it's only a slight bend when you do that, and then put it in your tube. Hold your tube down, just kind of let it drop down in there. Try not to let it ding around too much. You don't want it to bend up on your needles. Oops, I'm missing a grommet, so I'm going to use a piece of paper towel here to put on the end of that. You can use paper towel, or you can use grommets. I found out that the grommets actually do more damage when you're when you're doing this. You don't really want the grommets on there, so I guess that's up to you, and if you want to do the grommets on there or not. Get that on there good. Alright. Tighten that down a little bit and toss a rubber band on there to help hold that in place some. Tighten that down on there a little more. There we go. But the grommets act like a shock absorber and don't allow it to do it quite right. So now, as far as your needle depth, I've said this on another video. What you want to do is when you're doing this, push it down until you get a nickel out. Hold it down with your thumb until you get a nickel out. About a nickel out. Tighten it up when you got a nickel out and let it go. Okay? That's how I tell. Stick it out about a nickel, let it go, and you should be done. Okay? Do the same thing with your shader. About a nickel out, maybe a little more with your shader. Okay? I always stick my shader out just a little bit more than that, than a nickel. I don't know why I always have, but I have better luck that way, with it sticking out just a little bit further. That's just what I like to do. You guys don't have to if you don't want to, but for me, I like to have it out further. Now, if you have problems putting your thing on there, take the little nipple off and put it on before you put it on there. Okay? And then slide it on. This one here is like really tight, so it's kind of funny, guys. I stick it out a little bit further than a nickel on this when I do it. need to grab another rubber band here really quick because I broke my other one. There we go. Make sure that it's still out a little bit more than a nickel. It is. Well, kinda. Better put it out just a little bit more there. There we go. Alright. That's it for that. Make sure that you shake your bottles again before you put your inks in to into your ink caps, and we will start tattooing here in just a minute, and I'll start that video. We're ready to go. Thank you guys for watching the first part of this, setting it up, and the next video we will start tattooing. Thanks a lot.